Welcome to Permission to Game. I'm Evan McKenna, and here is what you can expect from the next generation of gaming from Xbox. Now, Phil Spencer beautifully said the other day, the future of gaming has never been more inspiring. Creativity in games is flourishing. New services empower you to discover more games and bring you closer to the games, creators, and streamers you love. The cloud creates a massive opportunity to stream console quality games and play with the people you want whenever you want. And for many of us, nothing is more inspiring than the dawn of a new console generation. Beautifully said, Phil, beautifully said. So that brings us to our topic today. We are going to explore the new, or at least the highlighted tech specs of what Xbox and Microsoft are going to have in the new Xbox Series X. So, some of those mind-blowing specs are the next generation console processor itself. I mean, the GPU is going to have 12 teraflops of performance. That's twice what the Xbox One X has at 6 teraflops and more than 8 times the original Xbox. 8 times! I mean, who would have thought when the original Xbox came out we would be at where we're at today? They're also going to have something called VRS, or variable rate shading. This is actually kind of cool. Rather than spending the GPU cycles uniformly, trying to create every single pixel on the screen perfect, it allows developers to prioritize individual effects on specific games, on specific characters, or even just the environment itself. So this could be seen in like Forza. We could be taking a higher approach to how the fidelity of the cars are, maybe on some of those showroom scenes. Or I even saw this theory too. What if it was all about the range of view? What if what was in the viewer's eyes were perfectly done, were set up very, very well, and everything kind of outside of it that you weren't intending the user and consumer to see is going to be a little off, so that the VRS is more in tune to what you as the viewer are going to be experiencing through your gameplay. It's kind of cool. Now, one really cool area is hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. I mean, DirectX has been around since so long ago. I mean, Microsoft created it years back in the 90s. It's been a part of gaming and a gaming lifestyle. At one point, we thought we were getting rid of it, but here we are doing an accelerated kind of format of it, being dedicated to what Microsoft is producing through ray tracing. Now, everybody's talking about ray tracing. It's going to be amazing. We're going to see more dynamic, more realistic environments, more true to life lighting and accurate reflections, realistic, acoustics in real time, essentially. It's going to be amazing. I mean, that is one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to, the fidelity, the experience, the growth we're going to get through these different GPU upgrades as well. Now, that's kind of where we're getting it from a graphical standpoint. There are rumors to 8K, there's rumors to what else we're gonna get, but right now what we know from Xbox is those 3 major things right there with our GPU performance. Let's get on to more playing and less waiting. Now, a lot of us, whether Xbox One, whether it's S or the X, we have hit a point where games have gotten so big that we've had to upgrade our hard drive sizes. Now it's standard 1 terabyte. We were all upgrading when 500 was the standard, 500 gigabytes. Now people are even going from standard hard drives to SSD storage. The great part is that is now going to come standard. Yes! Standard SSD storage in the Xbox One S. That's gonna give you lightning fast load times. It's gonna get you to your game quicker and gonna make that gaming experience and those load times better throughout the game itself. Because we are having SSD storage, we can have this brand new feature called Quick Resume. What is Quick Resume, you may ask? Simple. It's exactly what it says. Literally, you can have all sorts of games paused in the background and jump between multiple titles and continue multiple games from a suspended state. At least that's what Xbox is saying. Instantaneously, like literally just click a button, go to a menu, change your game, go to that game, done. I mean, I already kind of do it as is. Now, I'm one of those weirdos who as soon as I'm done with a game, I always completely shut it down because I don't want any extra resources being spent on the games I'm not playing. But with this whole quick resume mentality, the idea of getting you from one game to the next and minimizing those load times between experiences is going to make the gaming life, the gaming experience with the new Xbox One X more enjoyable. And they're also adding in something called DLI, or Dynamic Latency Input. The biggest area, and you're probably wondering why I'm holding this controller up, the biggest area you're gonna see this improvement is with the new and improved and optimized Xbox One wireless controller. I personally have not seen any sort of real issues with the latency between the controller as it is now, but they're gonna make it better because those that are diehards, those that are serious, are still plugging their controllers in to reduce that latency to be more one-to-one with their products, with their handhelds, and with the game itself. Now, optimizing latency in a player to console pipeline is really their ultimate goal. They're increasing it with a high bandwidth proprietary wireless communication protocol that is going to be unique to this controller and unique to the Series X. Now, the cool part is they're making these controllers work with a lot of other devices. You can already use it with your Apple device, your iPad, your iPhone. You know, I've seen them on Android phones. I've even seen some people using this on their PlayStation, believe it or not. Now, it takes a lot of hacking to making it work, but who knows? Also, with those upgrades, we're going to make the console to your display better. Xbox is going to go out there, and they've already been teaming up with HDMI and other TV developers to create what's called HDMI 2.1. Woo! I mean, nobody really cares about numbers, but we are going to see a lag reduction through what's called ALLM, or Auto Low Latency Mode, and VRR, or Variable Refresh Rate. The cool part is, so if you look at ALLM, that is going to be automatically set when you connect the display to its lowest latency mode. Now, I'm sure there's going to be ways to manually override any of this, but Xbox is trying to make the system and the TV you're working with, or the monitor you're working with, work to the best of its ability right off the bat. Coupled with, again, the VRR, or Variable Refresh Rate, this itself is going to synchronize the display's refresh rate with what the game is set to. That is cool. So if a game is built in 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second, or even 120 frames per second, we are going to see amazing changes with how our displays and our TVs coordinate with that just through VRR. Now, again, I'm sure it's going to be turn-offable. You're going to have the ability to set it the way you want so that you're dedicating and forcing some of the hardware to do what you think it should do. But it's cool that we have the technology to do that these days. So essentially, again, VRR stands for Variable Refresh Rate. It synchronizes the display's refresh rate to the game's refresh rate, maintaining both the smooth visuals without any tearing, because nobody likes tearing with their game experience. The amazing part is, right now we're kind of stuck to a certain frame rate. With the new One X, we're going to see game support of up to 120 FPS, or frames per second. Right now we're only at 60 frames per second, so this is going to far exceed, if not double, if you do the math, exceed that standard 60 frame rates per second output currently. It's going to create a heightened realism, a very fast-paced action gameplay, and it's going to be compatible with what the manufacturers want to do. It's actually kind of cool. I like that. If you actually have tested out some of the games, we already have other products like the iPad Pro, who already is boasting 120 FPS with their games. You can test that experience out for yourself today with Fortnite. All you got to do, get a Nintendo Switch, which is on 30 frames per second, get an Xbox One X or S, which is on 60 frames per second, and then go get yourself an iPad Pro at 120 frames per second, and you will night and day see the just fidelity difference between the three different systems. One thing that Xbox has always been really good at, unlike PlayStation on the other hand, is backwards compatibility. We all want it. We love the games we had on our 360. We still play games from the original Xbox. We are going to get that in the new Xbox Series X. That's good to know, Xbox. Thank you for continuing to keep that going. Also, Xbox is not getting rid of the way they bring you games today. They're actually adding in a really cool feature. It's called Smart Deliverability. So here's an example. When you are playing on an Xbox One, you bought a new game that comes out, let's say September. The new Xbox Series X comes out in Christmas time, holiday time. we don't need to worry about any sort of issues with the game you just bought, because the game is automatically going to know what console you're playing it on, and is when you download it onto the new console, let's say you do go out and buy, at launch the new Series X, you are going to have the ability to play games that are already been played and designed for your Xbox One X currently. So the Series X is ready to go. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love the smart deliverability. It's actually ingenious. Now, in the past, we've seen console makers make games that are just for specific consoles. For example, we got PlayStation out there. They held on to the PS2 for years. You could still buy a PS2 when the PS4 was coming out. They were still making games for it. The problem was you couldn't play that game that you just bought on your PS4 or PS3. You only could play it on the PS2. Well, Xbox is getting away from that idea and taking the need to upgrade out and giving you a reason to upgrade through benefits, but allows you as a user to decide what console and what system you're going to play on. The other and last piece that they put in their release about gaming itself was the Xbox Game Pass. It's not going away. It, in fact, is probably going to get a whole lot better now with the new console. We are still going to see first-party games released for free on Xbox Game Pass, including Halo Infinite at time of launch. That alone makes the $14 a month or whatever it is super reasonable. If you are the first one in line to get the pass, to get the game itself without having to stand out in the cold at Target, Best Buy, whatever, or having to pre-order it, you've now got the game. And the great part is, from what we see, from all the imagery, from all the specs, we are still going to get a drive in the system if you like hard disks. In the Series X itself, don't be afraid of what you've got currently. Still, I'm a big proponent of the online passes, the online games. I'm moving away from owning all the discs because honestly, I know there's a sense of ownership that I know that consumers like to have their product and eat it too, or have their cake and eat it too. But at the end of the day, I'm totally fine. I will pay for a subscription, and I'll have access to the games I want. And then when I'm done playing with them, I really don't ever really play them again. And most everything is on sale at some point, so a lot of times I either pick it up for free or I buy it real cheap anyways. So to me, it's no big deal that we're getting away from discs and hard product and tangible stuff, but I do understand the whole sense of ownership as well. So be expecting some awesome stuff from Xbox coming up this year. Like I said, feel free to go back, rewatch everything. Tons of great things coming out. More leaks, I'm sure, are going to come out from Xbox over the next couple months. I like the hype. I like that they're getting ahead of PlayStation. I like that Sony is kind of falling behind here, and I know their console is going to be amazing as well. So as soon as we get more info, we're going to talk to you about it as well. This has been Permission to Game. Thank you so much for following. Don't forget to subscribe, smash that bell, sign up for notifications, and we will see you next week as we talk about some amazing gaming stuff. Thank you very much, guys, and peace out.